Now let's utilize the same cash flow function, the same cash flows to look at the net present value. We press CF. Let's start off with an initial cash outlay of $8,000. For the same cash flow that we received before, we know that our internal rate of return will be less than our required 15% because we're paying more than it's worth. And understanding that return is less because we are paying more than it's worth will help us understand what net present value indicates. So let's start off by calculating net present value on this. When you press NPV, it's going to ask you for the discount rate, as we already have 15% in there from a previous session on the calculator. 15% is our discount rate of this problem. And we're going to go down arrow, and it's going to ask us to compute the NPV. So you press compute. Now this didn't change because I had just computed this previously outside of the video. Anyhow, the answer is negative $526.86. The fact that it is negative is one of the most important concepts of net present value. Net present value can either be positive, negative, or zero. And in the case of negative, that's telling us something about the investment. Now look how this works. If I clear this out, we have an investment that we've determined is worth $7,473.14. We paid $8,000 for that investment. So we paid more than it's worth. When you calculate that out, we paid $526.86 too much. And that is the same answer we got on our net present value. All net present value is doing is comparing what we paid to it with what it was worth. Let's do this another way. Let's say that we paid $7,000. Now, if you recall, this cash flow is worth $7,473, so we're paying less than it's worth. The cash flows are still in there. We can compute our internal rate of return. We can see that it's greater than our required 15%, which makes sense. But what happens to NPV? Well, we're going to keep our discount rate the same. Down arrow, compute NPV. It's $473 and essentially 14 cents. So our investment is worth $7,473.14. We paid $7,000 for it. That gives us a net present value of $473.14. Notice that it's positive because we paid less than it's worth. So again, when it comes to net present value, your answer is going to be positive, negative, or zero. If the answer is positive, then you paid less than it's worth, and that's a good thing. That also means your internal rate of return will be greater than the rate that you require. If your net present value is negative, that means you paid more than it's worth, and that's a bad thing. It doesn't mean you lost money, but it does mean you did not earn what you needed to earn, so your internal rate of return will be less than what you require. Now, in the case of a net present value of being zero, if we pay what something is worth, and compute net present value, it's going to be very close to zero, which means our rate of return is exactly what we require. So if you look to the right of the calculator there, you will see the net present values written out.